You see, there's a certain countdown with it, So just saying.
Can't see the countdown to the countdown.
Well, there's a countdown to the countdown. Then the countdown's over now and everything.
I didn't know.
Well, now you know. Fantastic Four trailer.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Gaming Podcast, episode 72. Steve, your first one for the year.
Oh my God! I
told
you last year.
You thought you were not coming back.
I told you last year. It was the end of the podcast, the end of the full roster. But I mean, you did come to me with a very tantalizing contract to get me back. And,
yes. Steve
it was a fat contract.
Putting together a team.
Steve is the only paid member on here. I don't even pay myself.
You guys aren't getting paid.
Sorry,
we got to change his name to Free Agent Steve.
Not anymore. I'm on a 1-year contract now.
He's back, baby. He's back.
Call him Kawhi
in Pog form. How's it going, Steve?
I'm tired, man.
Yeah, you've been all over the place.
I've been all over the place. I can't believe this. Tuesday I've been home in a month.
When you said yes, I was like, wait, are you sure? Like,
I'm here. I'm locked in now. I'm so locked in for the time being.
Crazy time. Yeah. Well, welcome back, Caboose. How about yourself?
Doing good. I'm glad to be back as well. There's going to be a lot to talk about today, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to be here. It's going to be a big week for video games.
Huge week. Riley, how about yourself?
Week, scale of 1 to 10.
Ooh. How big of a week?
Yeah, how big of a week?
In my mind, I want it to be like a 9, but then tomorrow, I guess today, as of when you guys are listening and watching this, when what we're going to talk about later hits, it could go all the way down to like a 2. We'll see. It really all depends.
Like a Death Stranding 2?
Oh God, please don't. On the beach. Don't do
on
it.
the beach, baby.
Don't, no.
Vacation.
No.
On the beach. We're on the beach.
On the beach.
On the beach.
Was it like Nicki Minaj? Like beach.
We got to get Nicki Minaj in Death Stranding 2 right
she's
now.
Probably already in it.
Yeah,
most likely.
Could you post a photo on Instagram with her?
Yeah.
Okay, anyways.
Just collaborate with Nicki Minaj now.
That you just 3D model collection. Yeah, I've scanned her into the game.
Riley, how about yourself? What's going on, man?
Not much. I'm excited for tomorrow, which is today if you're listening.
Just today.
So I want to see this PlayStation show. I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, we'll kick it off with South of Midnight Impressions. They are officially out of this recording the whole day later after that. Caboose, you went down to New York.
I did.
Tried it out.
Yeah, I got to go all the way down to New York City for it. And I got to, first of all, they had a really cool setup with some stuff from the game. And what I honestly thought was really cool is, you might have seen this as well in your preview. When you boot up the game, there's this really cool like animation. I don't know if I was like tired the day or something like that, or I just wasn't paying close enough attention. I thought it was just like a CG like trailer, like inspired by the art style of the game. I did not know that it was stop motion. Yep. And it wasn't until they gave us like a presentation after we played the game that they brought in some of the people from the stop motion studio that came from Montreal, by the way, to show the process of that. And they brought as well some of the props and the things that they made to create that stop motion animation in the beginning when you boot up that preview, which I thought was awesome. It was really, really cool. And yeah, like we got to play the game. We got a good amount of time with it. They did kind of throw us in just randomly into it, so we didn't get like a tutorial or anything like that. So I had to like learn how to do the glide and kind of get the hang of traversal and combat on my own. But that's honestly one of the things that I will praise about the game is it's pretty simple to pick up. And I mean, for sure, for me, like the top of my praise has to do with like the art direction, the soundtrack, like the music is phenomenal. Like there are a lot of moments where I was playing through it where that had me like the most immersed. And yeah, it's like a great like realization of like that deep south, but also it leans into that fantasy element just enough to keep you like invested. And yeah, like I was really impressed by what I got to play.
How did you find the combat? Like, okay, and I'm also kind of curious as well. I was able to try it out as well at home via the Xbox preview app, whatever we want to call it. But they didn't really tell you that there was a melee button. For me, it was just instantly like, okay, you could pull, you could push, or you could pull like people if you want, but they didn't tell you like, oh yeah, by the way, this button does melee.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny when I got there, I was warned. I was like, hey, we're just gonna let you know that we're throwing you into the middle of it, and a lot of people are having trouble with the first combat encounter because of that. And I was like, all right, I'll take that challenge. And honestly, like I got the hang of it pretty easily. I ended up getting the idea, the gist of the different abilities that you have. I did find out that there was a melee. But part of that was just
so they didn't tell you. That's so odd.
I paused and I looked at the controls. Like I saw the button mapping. So I got a bit of an idea of what I was supposed to do there. And yeah, again, I was into it. I was really into it. And the skill tree was like simple enough for me to be like, oh, okay, this gives me a buff on that ability, or this allows me to do X amount of extra damage. The only thing I will say, if I were to have like some negatives, I think for this game having as beautiful of a world as it does, like such interesting art direction, like you have these cool characters like this giant catfish or like this big tree, but like the enemies are all just like weird red demons, and they're all like very slight variations of that. So it kind of bummed me out that out of all the inspired art direction, the enemy types were rather uninspired. But yeah, again, I liked what I played. I'm looking forward to the full release.
Awesome. Did you think this is like going to be like a Game of the Year contender?
Ooh. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know about Game of the Year, but I do see it getting like, I could see it getting things like writing, or definitely like
best narrative, or
best narrative,
art
art for sure, soundtrack for sure. It's going to get a nomination. Some of those like honestly feel like a lock for the game. And what I honestly really appreciated too, like it's got that Spider-Verse 14 frames per second style to it.
Right.
They did mention that although it doesn't apply to cinematics and cutscenes, you can turn that off for gameplay. So if it's something that bothers you, if you'd rather have just that smooth, consistent 60 to however many FPS, then that's totally an option that's available to you. So yeah, I was glad about that. I don't know about Game of the Year contender, because this year is going to be really stacked, but we could get GTA 6 and it ends up being like outside of like gameplay and stuff, it could be bad. You never know, right? Like we could get Ghost of Yotei and it could be bad. So who knows what the rest of this year looks like? I don't want to like speak too soon though.
Yeah. Were you guys also? I kind of curious as well. Were you guys playing on the Xbox or PC?
We were playing on Xbox, I believe.
Okay. Did you have any screen tearing? I know. For me, I had that, but I know it's like the preview build. You'll get figured out as well.
That's funny you mentioned that. I thought that maybe that was like a monitor issue, but now that you mention it, like I don't know if that had something to do with the game.
Yeah.
Because I kind of brushed it off as like, oh, maybe there's just something wrong with this monitor. But yeah, if you're saying that as well, then maybe it was to do with the game. But like, we are still a little bit of a ways from release. Yeah,
and they can always they'll easily optimize that as well. So that wasn't something I wasn't too worried about. I just know other people mentioned that in their preview, like, they had some screen tearing from time to time.
The only other thing too is like sometimes traversal can be a little finicky. Like jumping from one little platform onto another, like you can't really like gauge how far of a jump you need to do. Do you need to use your glide? And there isn't enough of like I don't know how to explain it, but a lot of games have that thing of like you're jumping from one branch to another, and it just feels like your feet are magnetic on that second branch. Whereas this game has that floatiness of like, if you walked a little bit after you landed, you fall off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like things like that were catching me off guard a couple of times. And then also like the wall running, which I did think was cool. A lot of the time, maybe this is just to do with me, I wouldn't trust myself to be like grabbing onto the wall and start running. So I would start running, but then I'm hitting A to jump again. So I'm jumping off the wall, and then I got to go back onto it, you know, like... And again, maybe that's just myself. Like, I don't know if anybody else would encounter that. But little things like that made the traversal feel a bit finicky sometimes.
Yeah. Like besides that, performances wise, like from the actors, outstanding. The music as well. That would kind of even like recap the whole story of what or the whole level as well. Even I was mentioning from before on another podcast, Concert Creatures, where even if you're jumping, like they'll even play like notes of the song while you're even jumping as well. Like it's a very well made game, and like very like the whole presentation is outstanding. You feel like you're watching a play, and the fact that everything's like hand puppets or claymation as well.
Yeah,
it's nuts. Like what they have done here.
I think that's a really good way to describe it. And I'll also say, like the music is a huge part of the game. Like there are some times where like there's a song specific to the narrative, and it is specific to your progression in the level. So like the song won't continue until you are getting further into the actual mission.
Like Hi-Fi Rush.
Actually, yes.
Exactly,
Very similar to that.
I was going to say, this gives me Hi-Fi Rush vibes.
Yeah. Very much of the same vein. I mean, obviously a very different vibe in terms of tone and everything, but yeah, totally the same idea where just the further you progress, the more that the music kind of crescendos and you get into like the chorus or whatever it may be. There's stuff about the narrative that I really want to talk about, but I do not want to spoil for people. There was the one mission in particular regarding like a tree, which I was like blown away by. It's like there's some really good writing there.
Yeah. Besides that, Steve or Riley, any questions? You guys probably
not a question per se, but I was going through, a lot of the previews and everything because this is a game I'm genuinely interested in. But I find it interesting, at least just from like a commentary standpoint, that Compulsion, great studio and everything, very creative and all, but they've never really delved deep into combat at all. And I feel like that's something that translates here as well, because it feels like across the board in a lot of ways, everyone's kind of main critique, if there was one, was like, environment, story, everything. The music is great, but the combat is kind of like,
like an afterthought.
Yeah. When you look at like their resume is like We Happy Few, and then Contrast, which is both of them are kind of like passive games where you're just going through levels and going through environments and stuff like that, versus what sounds to me like South of Midnight is a little more combat heavy.
Yeah, there are a lot of like specific combat sections. There's this whole mechanic too with like a perfect dodge where you can kind of stun enemies with it. Honestly, I think if a worry from previous Compulsion games is that gameplay or combat is something kind of to be left behind, I'd say they definitely put a lot more focus with this game.
Yeah.
There's also like this game is very customizable as well. Like when I was diving into the menu, you could, if you wanted to, you can actually just have like a whole skip button for the combat, even boss battles as well. And then there's 5 different difficulty levels where if you want, there's 5 difficulty levels where like you could customize it the way you want. Like, okay, I want more enemies to be more aggressive, but I want the traversal to be easier if you wanted to. Or you could have like an extreme mode where like the combat is more intense, or you could just have like obviously like your standard story focus mode. But like there are options for you to like entirely skip everything if you just want to enjoy the game as like, I just want to enjoy the story. I don't want to deal with any battles or nothing like that as well. So
that's good from an accessibility standpoint.
Yeah.
I did like as well too that whenever you like eliminate an enemy or you take down an enemy, you have to also like unravel them to like fully get the takedown. Like an enemy will come back if you do not unravel them. I felt like that added a lot to the combat. So sometimes when there's a ton of enemies around, like, okay, this specific enemy type is really difficult to deal with. I'm gonna focus on them and get the unravel before I try to do anything else. It made a lot of the combat sections pretty like engaging for me.
Cool.
Yeah,
sorry, I was just gonna ask, did you get a sense of like the scale of the game, like how long it might run, or like?
I think I don't know.
I've been hearing 8 to 10 hours.
That's right. That's about what I heard as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing something aggressive in terms of the art style, like stop motion. Yeah. I mean, for one, I think at a certain point your eyes just kind of get fatigued after seeing that. But I also think that just like Cuphead in so many ways, if you're doing like an aggressively stylistic art style, you can't make a game that goes like 30 hours and expect it to look like that. You know, like it's a quality over quantity kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think it might be like a High Frame Rush. 'Cause I'm looking up High Frame Rush in a way, which is I feel like is a perfect example of a good that was like an 11-hour game. So I think it might be around there as well. So with obviously different areas for you to do collectibles and such. And obviously there's different skill upgrades you can get as well. So no, it's looking really good, and like it's like hopefully April is I know Switch 2 is coming out, which I've been hearing rumors this could be also coming out on Switch 2 as well.
I would love that. I would love that.
And you know, I would not be surprised.
No red line, man. There's no red line.
No red line, but unfortunately, that frame rate is just stock frame rate across the board. That's not stop motion. That's what the Switch 2 can actually do.
I'm gonna just look up how much is this game actually, out of curiosity.
Is it a full price one, or is it gonna be like?
There's no way. Come on,
it can't be.
It cannot be. Sweet spot $50 Canadian.
So yeah, $40 US, 50 Canadian.
Oh, there you go.
Got it.
Yeah, look at that. Look at this guy.
I think totally.
That's a sweet spot.
That's a sweet spot.
Oh, that's sweet. Ooh, that's sweet.
Yeah, for that 12 hours or 10 to 10 or 8 to 10 hour gameplay that you're gonna get.
Yeah,
I think that's totally worth it. And again, from what I played, I don't know, Marcel, if you'd agree. I was pretty impressed. I was impressed
as well.
Outside of some like finicky traversal and again like uninspired enemy designs, we didn't do any like boss battles, so I don't know what boss battles could look like if there are any. But outside of like those two cons, I really liked what I played. I rather enjoyed it.
Yeah, the story will definitely hook you as well. For me, it was more getting used to the I don't know, that was just lack of not having any like developers around or anything like that, but like it was just like what are these controls? It took me a while to figure out, oh yeah, I do have a melee button, because like they just throw you in chapter 3, and I feel like they just skip like the parts of like, oh well, this does this, and then these other buttons do this as well. So that was just the only part, and I know other people were a little frustrated about that, but besides that, it's a very solid game, I find. So yeah, cool. So I'm looking forward to that. April 8th, and I think that's like an early access, 5 days early as well.
Oh, is that right?
I hate that stuff.
April 3rd. You can play it April 3rd, 5 days earlier. If you get the premium edition.
Damn, okay.
So, and then there's vinyls available as well if you wanted to, because I know people are gonna be loving the music as well. Like, and like even like this blues music, it was really catchy. So,
all right.
Yeah.
There you go.
State of play. What's going on? What we got?
Now we go from Xbox to PlayStation, huh? Oh boy. Yeah,
it's all coming to PC. We know it.
It's true. It's true. Well, you guys listening and watching right now are going to be watching it in a few hours.
Couple hours. Yeah, a few hours.
Or maybe have already seen it by the time that you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah. One thing for sure will be there is Metal Gear.
Yeah. Metal Gear Remake.
Yeah, I think someone set the wrong date. You know, we were talking about this on social media, Steve, about embargo stuff and accidentally scheduling stuff. Like you double, triple checking. Whoops. Someone screwed up there for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
an ape escaped.
Exactly.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So that's one thing that's going to be there. But like besides that, what we got for predictions?
Wolverine.
You don't think so?
Really?
You know what? Maybe I've just become pessimistic because I've been burned by my hopes and dreams.
So you're doing
Spider-Man 2 DLC.
Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology you're doing. I get it. Yeah.
So now I'm just saying it's not going to happen. That way, if it does, I can get really excited.
Not only that, you're not traveling, so...
That's right.
Theoretically, there can't be any big news.
That's exactly. It just makes sense. But honestly, I think part of it is just because at one point or another, I was thinking there's a likely chance it comes out this year. But like GTA 6 eating up that fall window, which by the way, Rockstar has like been adamant, like in earnings calls and everything, they're like fall 2025 GTA 6. So it looks like they're lined up. I'll still believe it only when I have the game in my hands.
Sure.
But with that game taking up that fall like season, every other game is just going to steer clear. And Ghost of
course.
Yotei, I think there's a good chance for it to be at the end of the summer. Like we might be looking at like an August release.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
If not, maybe end of the year, like November, December. But I know, knowing PlayStation, they love to get those big games out before the deadline, and they want to hit that game awards season. They love seeing their name up there for Game of the Year or this and that. And considering too that from that reveal trailer, it looked like they're not changing much in terms of the engine and the look and the design of the game from Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
I doubt that it was as difficult a development process as it would have been to have just been building it from the ground up. So I'm thinking Ghost of Yotei, we're looking maybe at the end of the summer, and then Wolverine I don't think we see until next year.
See,
Because of that, I don't think we see it at the State of Play.
Interesting, because I'm kind of a little more optimistic, and usually I'm kind of like, yeah, Wolverine definitely not showing up, but I'm kind of on the mindset that Ghost of Yotei imminent. Like I'm talking like May the latest. Because PlayStation loves to have a first half of the year kind of early bang out, and I think given State of Play happening in February, you get like a window at least of like spring or something like that. Hit maybe March or April, and then there's going to be the Ghost of Yotei State of Play. They go into a deep dive or whatever. And then that opens up, Death Stranding 2. That's got to also be in consideration. I know that Kojima's going to do his South by Southwest whole ordeal. Yeah. I feel like that's almost a shoe-in for maybe the summer, if I had to guess. I know that I went and looked at, just to refresh my mind, the original Death Stranding came out in November, but I feel like that one, again, is too late almost for the climate right now, given, again, Grand Theft Auto 6 is just around. It's a little creeper around the corner right now. So I feel like...
I mean, what's the best time to go on the beach? Summertime.
You know what's so weird, though, about Death Stranding 1 and now Death Stranding 2? They're PlayStation titles, or at least limited time PlayStation titles.
Yeah.
But they just never feel like that. Like it's probably because Kojima just handles it all kind of himself in terms of like almost like marketing and this and that. But like even when they reveal it during like PlayStation State of Play or whatever it might be, it never feels like this is like a part of PlayStation.
You know why though? Is because it's so not a safe game. Just like fair. Alan Wake 2 in a way, it's just like the amount of, and I don't want to say courage, but it's just kind of like the amount of unrestraint that PlayStation just handed him a fat check and was like, go do whatever you want. And then he came out and was like, here's Death Stranding. And they're like, huh.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, man. Like, you do you.
So sea animals fall from the sky and made out of what?
Like, hold on, where's the baby? In the dude's stomach.
So the rain ages.
There's a ladder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Sure. Fuck it. Yeah.
And then they saw the sales and they're like, you know what? You son of a bitch. You
Here's another check.
Run it back.
Here's another check. Yep.
Yeah. But no, I think that at least from this State of Play, we'll probably get some firm information on Ghost of Yotei. We'll get some firm information on Death Stranding, maybe some Wolverine. I'm feeling pretty good about that because, again, we're looking so far into stuff that has been announced years at this point. We kind of gotta shit or get off the pot with a lot of this stuff and then start setting up what's the second half of PlayStation 5's generation.
So do you think then that Wolverine is this year, or do you think they show off like gameplay and then say it's next year?
I'm
if it's next year, I still think that they're looking at fall. I think that Insomniac likes that window. At least that's what they have done for Spider-Man 1, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 2. So if Wolverine's not until the fall of 26, I do not see it showing up during the State of Play. So unless you're thinking it comes out this year.
Again, I'm not confident enough to say yes or no, only because of the Grand Theft Auto of it all. If Grand Theft Auto wasn't in the conversation, I'd be like, it's
a lock.
Like, it's such a lock.
Yeah.
But again, I just feel like, given what we know of the Insomniac League, given what we know about just PlayStation in general, they need a stable of first-party single-player stuff coming out just to kind of recoup a lot of like the
Yeah.
not
Yeah, I
poor,
think I agree.
not bad will or anything, but just recoup a lot of like the stuff that's been going on with their games as a service and failed
Yeah.
projects and stuff. Like they got
I
to
think
start going.
2024 was kind of a slow year for them too.
Yeah.
In
Yes.
terms of release, like we got Astrobot, which was incredible game of the year, but like in terms of like caliber releases throughout the calendar year, like we got a couple of remasters and Astrobot and Concord and like
third party
nothing-
stuff. It was all
Yeah,
third and second
it
party
wasn't
stuff.
really like a strong year for that brand.
No.
Outside of like the hits, and the hits really hit, so that's good. But like, what I'm thinking off the top of my head right now, like we have Wolverine, obviously, Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2, Intergalactic, I think,
Yeah.
is that it?
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
so.
Galactic.
Yep.
And
Marathon.
Marathon, yeah. So those are like the 5 that
Oh,
we
yeah.
know of, and I would think probably there's some surprises as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, one of the rumored ones is like a God of War. That's like maybe like a throwback to the original games
Or
or something
remake
like that.
or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
remake or like
Yeah.
a prequel or something like that. So I'm kind of curious.
You know
to
what?
see
I'll
they
always
do.
go back to it. Where the hell is that Uncharted game they showed? Like, where
That's
the
actually
hell
good.
is that
Dude,
Uncharted game?
that's actually a really good shot. I bet we see it here.
I think so.
I think we see that there. I don't think
So
we see
hold on, are you
Wolverine.
guys thinking? I mean, they said 40 plus minutes, but
Yeah.
the way that you guys are kind of setting this up, are you thinking that this is essentially a showcase? Then?
Yes.
Interesting.
I think
I felt
we're
like-
due for like we need some dates. We need some hard dates. Ghost of Yotei seems set. I don't think
Yep.
we'll hear anything on Intergalactic yet.
No.
And I think, I guess we have a Horizon multiplayer game, which is like known to
Sure.
be in development.
Yeah.
That could show up, but I feel like they really need to set what's ahead because Nintendo is gonna have an incredible lineup in April to show us.
Yep.
And on top of that, Xbox is killing it. So I mean, like a lot of those games will be coming to
There's
PlayStation.
a lot of
time,
Xbox games.
but you need some stuff.
But still,
so
you still
I think they need
you
to
still
set the
need
calendar
games
year up.
that open up with the PlayStation Studios little montage. Like that's what
Yeah.
people want. And I
Yeah.
think to your
Yeah,
point,
you do.
Riley, that's what 2024 kind of lacked. Is there were some
Didn't
really
have that.
big hits, but at the same time, a lot of it was buoyed just by smart partnership.
And we'll get more. Like,
yeah.
I think we'll get more. Like, we'll see more of like the Helldivers 2, like expansion content,
Right.
and Astrobot will get more DLC for sure. Like, I think they already showed one of the levels that hasn't been added to the game yet in a speedrun comp prior to
Oh.
the new year. So
Cool.
things like that. Like, we're going to see more stuff from them built on their existing games right now, as well as maybe set the scene for what people can anticipate from that brand this year. I expect some surprises and stuff, some fun things.
Yeah, I think at a certain point too, you have to start talking about some of these studios that have gone quiet for what seems like years and years at this point. Like Bend
Yeah.
Studio, I know there have been reports and stuff like that. Sony Santa Monica has been pretty quiet as well since Valhalla.
It's weird though. It's weird though because a thing like Valhalla, like the DLC, it almost acts as like, okay, we get 4 more years of not saying anything, guys. You know, like we put out a DLC,
Yeah.
give us 4 more years. And with Insomniac, I think I do understand, but even then, it's like we did the PC port. We got 4 more years, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it feels like little things like that where they give you kind of just a trickle of information. It's like, all right, cool, we can just not talk forever now. You know? So I don't know. I don't know if we hear from Sony Santa Monica. I don't know. Bend definitely, I think, is due to like start giving us an idea of what they've been doing. I would love to see a new Uncharted, but then a new Uncharted, like that's not. We're not looking at that being made by Naughty Dog, are we?
No, I don't think so.
No, I would think Bend would be working.
Bend
on it.
is the one
Yeah.
who's making anything. Yeah, okay.
I think
I would
Bend
think
or
we'll see.
that unnamed studio. That's on the West Coast. I can't remember. There is a studio out there that Sony hasn't really put like a fixed name on. I can't remember.
Oh, they're probably working on
okay.
Concord too at this point. Yeah.
Concordia.
Concordia.
I hope not.
Flight of the Concorde. That's for sure. Yeah. Are we gonna say Fair Games? Anything? Like that,
Oh,
or-
Fair Games. I knew there was another one that we haven't
Raven
mentioned.
Studios, like what's going on with that one?
Do we need to see any of these games? Do we need to see
Do we?
these games as a service?
One
So-
game we will see, and we'll get a release date for, is definitely Hell Is Us. That was like a PlayStation 1 as well.
Yes.
Well. So
Actually,
So it says here on the description of the blog post. State of Play is back tomorrow or today again when you guys are listening. February 12th. Tune in live for news and updates on great games coming to PS5. The show celebrates a creative and unique selection of exciting games from studios around the world. So from the sounds of it, is this going to be an exclusive first party State of Play?
No, like
Or are we looking at some third party stuff too?
I'm thinking we see Resi in some point. Like
so yeah,
Yeah.
that got rated, right? Resident Evil 5 got rated on PS5.
Oh,
Well,
Resi 5 remake?
5 and 6 got
oh no.
rated for Xbox. Both of them.
I think Resi 5 also showed up on PlayStation rating.
Oh boy. That's awesome.
If
that's
Chris
true,
is gonna
Code
smack the hell out of
Veronica.
that
Give
rock
us
again.
Code Veronica, damn it. Where's that one? They keep skipping it.
You're never getting Code Veronica, man.
We
You're
need
never getting
I
Code Veronica.
don't
I'm gonna make sure of
understand.
it.
Yeah.
You know, I just want a Dino Crisis. Just give me Dino
Me
Crisis
too.
remade.
That
Like that
game
would be
is not
incredible.
good as you think it is.
That's why I want like a
Dino-
total
it's not
remake
good.
of Dino
It's not
Crisis in that
good.
RE engine.
Listen,
It was-
let's give all the losers that
Yeah.
Turok game, and then we can start
You
worrying
ha-
about the real Dino game.
You
Did
had
you
Dino
just
Crisis.
dunk
It
on
was
Turok?
Exo
Like
Primal.
it's
Yeah,
nothing?
I dunked on
That's
Turok.
insane to me.
You had Dino
That's a-
Crisis, Exo Primo. What do you want,
Such a
Riley?
good
Exo
game on
Primo.
N64. Dude, don't feed me Exo.
Come on.
Primal. Come on. That's
You
that's
had.
I've known
I
you
know
for
I'm
a while,
feeding
and
it
that's
to
one
you.
of
I'm airplaning it to you.
all
Right
due
now.
respect.
Here
That's one of
comes
the
Exo
dumbest
Primal.
things you've ever said to me. And I've known you for a while. You're trying to compare Exo Primal to Dino Crisis. You're
Do you
out of
mean
your
Regina's in
mind.
the game? Is it not Regina?
She's not even at all. I think there's like
It's
a
a redheaded
costume.
lady.
But then Mega Man's in the game too. It's just
He
nonsense.
could be. I don't know. Oh, he
It's
is in the
nonsense.
game.
And
Yeah.
I won't stand for it. Dino Crisis just got added to GOG's game preservation program. It's now added on
Oh,
PS Plus. It just returned on
Is
for a
Turok in
PS5
there?
version. No, but it is. But 1 and 2 are on NSO. So there
Oh,
you go.
fucking
oh,
fantastic!
there you
Yeah,
go.
there
There
you
you
go.
go.
Go
There you
play
go.
that.
Yeah. Steve has like a Dino hate on for anything that's not a Crisis. No, I don't know.
love a good
I don't know
Crisis, though.
why.
You know that though.
Dude, I don't know how you're
Crisis.
coming for Turok. It doesn't make Dino Crisis better. Like, I don't know why you're coming for it.
It makes
It's
it
na-
better
that's-
in my heart.
That's a
all that
nasty
matters.
approach. That's a nasty approach to content. I don't know why. I don't know why you're feeding into that.
I love a good crisis, he
I
said.
love it. Well, write that on my tombstone. I don't care.
I love a good crisis.
Dude loved a Crisis. Yeah. Oh my.
Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah. No, I
Um,
want Dino Crisis, but I think probably Resident Evil 5 because it got listed.
Or 9? What's going on with 9? Because I feel like
That's-
that one's cooking.
I have
It's,
I have
it's
a thought.
brewing. Oh,
What
you have a
about
thought.
what
Slow
about
cook.
Kingdom Hearts?
Oh fuck.
Oh,
Kingdom
At
what?
but
this point, I don't believe it's real.
Yeah.
I don't think that was
They
real. at all.
showed
That was
it
a
to
trick
us, and I
demo.
don't believe it's real.
But
I feel like
Caboose,
there's a-
when you walk away, you won't hear me say,
Oh no.
"Please, baby, don't go." You know, simple and clean.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Might be time.
that's another one where it's like similar to the whole thought of like if GTA 6 is coming out this year. Now I'll believe it when I see it. Like if Kingdom Hearts is real, show it to me. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean like don't announce it. Like I want to see it, and I want a window of the year it'll release.
Guys, we're gonna get
It just might
40
be time.
minutes. 40 minutes of Death Stranding.
saying, it might
That's
be
all
time.
we're getting.
If it's 40 minutes of Death Stranding, it'll be a great nap.
That's it. It's gonna be 40 minutes of Death Stranding and like 1 minute of Astrobot level. That's the whole state of play.
All right, so they're gonna come out. They're gonna have a new Sly Cooper, a new Jack and Daxter, PSP3. It's gonna be incredible. Yeah, buckle up. Wolverine 1, 2, and they're gonna announce X-Men's. So it's gonna be
X-Men's?
incredible.
X-Men's?
Yeah.
Damn.
Plural.
I mean,
It's a
X-people?
quadrilogy.
X-Men?
Yeah.
Quadrilogy.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. Buckle up, buckaroos.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
I'm looking forward to it though. I mean, we'll see. This is definitely one of the bigger state of plays that they've hyped up in a long time. But then again, the state of play that they did, was it September of last year when they revealed Ghost of Yotei?
Yeah.
That was also like in
was
its
a good
own
one.
right a mini showcase, right?
Yep.
So this one might even be like on a larger scale than that one, or do you guys think it's going to be like of a similar scale to that one?
I think in terms of a lot of the announcements, it's probably going to be on a similar scale. I just think in a very different way because, again, I think harping on the fact we have to start talking about first party stuff. And I think last year's was a great representation of, hey, we got a ton of third party support and we have, Ghost of Yotei to look forward to. Boom.
Right.
I just don't think that they were in a place to kind of start talking about a large amount of these upcoming games. If they don't this time, I'm going to be really disappointed because I just feel like the messaging continuously coming out of 2024 has just been kind of muddied with all the news of games as a service and studio shutdowns and PS5 Pro and everything. Like they really need like a big win here.
We're going into a new era.
Yeah.
We're going into a new era, right? Like Jim Ryan's out now, and we're
Herman Hulst is out.
Herman Hulst is out.
Even if you didn't want to.
So although we
Off
thought
into the
like,
horizon, yeah.
although we thought like at one
Yeah.
point before last year, like we were like, okay, we're now finally going into an era. I think now officially we're going into a new era for PlayStation.
Yeah.
So definitely like this would be a good state of play to really set the tone of what the next couple of years are going to look like for PlayStation. And I mean, yeah, like we're like when you look at the console life or the cycle that we usually get from one console to the next one, we're on the tail end of the PS5.
We're getting there, yeah.
Or at least we're on the second half of it.
Yeah.
If you were to say that much. So like the PS6, it's on the horizon. And for a lot of people, they felt that this entire console generation has just been lacking the games. And so it really is time for them to start announcing and talking about and getting people hyped for games like Wolverine or maybe not necessarily Intergalactic, but whatever Bend Studios is working on. If maybe Sony Santa Monica is going to release anything during the PS5 console generation, maybe it's time to start getting people excited about it. Like you said, Riley, a God of War remastered collection or something would be awesome. I would be
Easy
all
drop.
about it.
Easy money.
Hell yes. So like this is definitely the time to start getting people more excited and start giving more and more people a reason to get a PS5. Not that they didn't really have one already, but like it's just that has been a lingering complaint from a lot of people. Even if it is in a bubble, even if it is a minority, people have still been talking about it, and it still gets traction. And so I know that something like that has got to be on PlayStation's radar going into this new era. This state of play could be an important one.
I have a question for the group. Will we see an Xbox Game Studios title here?
I'm thinking indie might if anything, indie.
Sure.
What about Hellblade 2?
Ooh.
Now you're out there. I don't know.
Maybe. But I don't think so.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe someone out there can tell me. Has any of the announcements of like Xbox games going over to other platforms never been handled by Microsoft directly? Like, has
Indiana Jones was during Gamescom.
Gamescom, yeah.
That was Gamescom. They tweeted
They
out
were on
Forza.
stage, though.
They tweeted
They
about
tweet out
Forza.
By the way, I'd expect like a little 15, 30-second commercial for indie.
Sure,
With because all we know is it's spring of this year.
Yeah.
I could see a release date showing up in this
yeah,
presentation.
because I think the general consensus is that 6 months exclusivity, right? So I
Yeah.
think you can just kind of assert that it would be what, May?
For indie?
Yeah,
Is May still considered the spring?
I would consider May. That's a springy kind of month to
Spring,
me.
For me,
like
I always look
early
at I always look at
summer.
May as like the summer has begun. But then again, I don't know what the official, because these studios always like to say like
I
the
know.
fall, and then they
Yeah.
pick the last day of fall in like November, to say it's a fall release,
Yeah, June 20th is the first day of summer.
Okay, so I guess maybe May.
That's not true. Ask Jeff Keighley. It's whenever Summer Game Fest starts. It's
Summer
not
Game
spring.
Fest.
Damn right. Oh, my
I won't
God.
ask him because I don't care.
Jeez.
This is why
Alright.
Jeff doesn't invite you anywhere.
I know, honestly. It's this podcast in particular, I'm sure.
He used to be a fan.
He's been a
Dude,
fan.
he was all in, yeah.
He was all in. He was
I get
invested.
it. I
For
get it.
73
I don't like me
episodes,
most
you can
days either, so I get it. That's fine.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't see Hellblade popping up, but I do see indie.
I see indie. I see maybe a Forza. I just don't see anything new.
Forza,
Not like
yes.
a Halo.
No.
No.
Halo is just two Xbox. Like they will bring it to PlayStation, but
Yeah.
it's two Xbox
That's-
branded.
That's an Xbox announcement.
Yeah.
See, I feel like they will probably. I feel like it'll show up in another showcase if it's PlayStation
Halo?
or Nintendo. Yeah,
I could see it at the Nintendo.
I think
reveal.
that if Xbox does not handle that announcement with the utmost care, like a newborn baby, that is the end of the brand. Like I'm just being
Well,
completely honest. If they're
I don't
just
think
like,
they
oh,
can
here's the trailer.
have a segment of their showcase dedicated to the Master Chief collection coming to PS5. Like, I don't know if that works. I think if you want it to hit, it's got to hit.
I feel like that's like a Summer Game Fest Xbox showcase announcement.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I just think in general that
That's where you have all the
PlayStation-
press there and everything to talk about it.
I just think as well, like in general,
red
like
lines.
PlayStation, like when you look at the Gamescom announcement for Indiana Jones as well, right? Like it feels kind of detached from Xbox or PlayStation. It's just like
Yeah.
here's something during Gamescom, right? Whereas if you're doing a PlayStation State of Play and you're announcing the biggest face of Xbox game coming to PlayStation, it's just like it's weird. Like you're reminding people who are here as fans of PlayStation about the competitor, and I don't think PlayStation is really about that.
See, I feel like it shows up at the Nintendo Direct and then they roll into Master Chief and Smash Brothers.
I do believe that. I do believe that. Well, okay, I don't know about the Smash Brothers thing, but I do believe the Master Chief Collection for Switch 2, because I think Nintendo plays a little nicer, and as well, like Nintendo just dominates, and they know that they have their own little corner.
Well, what did they announce? They announced Pentiment and Grounded, I think, in a Nintendo Direct as multi-plat. So, seems like a good partner
Was
for
Sea of
them.
Thieves or no?
Not yet.
No.
Maybe I'm assuming probably for Switch 2, though.
I see.
And Hi-Fi Rush. You have to imagine
There-
that
yeah,
red shirt.
gotta
That
be.
red shirt.
Red
was
shirt,
there.
Gotta be,
man.
gotta
Which-
be.
Which
Red
company
shirt.
bought it?
That was.
It's the people who did Callisto Protocol.
Let me
I don't know
look
what
it up.
company it is. But I would imagine they would be working on a port of that if it wasn't already in active development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They own that. Xbox owns that, right? So.
Xbox did. Now this new
Crafton.
company owns the IP.
Crafton, yeah.
Crafton, yeah.
Crafton does.
So now Crafton owns the IP, and they want to develop a sequel.
Correct.
So I would assume that will come to Switch too. Kind of seems like a good fit.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Would that come with a Hi-Fi Rush 2 announcement too? Be like, hey, this is also coming out. Play the first game on Switch.
Maybe, I guess if it's far enough along. It sounds like they're
Possible.
probably scaling the team after everything they went through. But
Yeah. Are we going to see anything from Stellar Blade? They made $43 million, apparently.
Wait,
Get
they
some,
made
like-
43 million? Or are you saying they sold 43 million copies?
It says Celebrate made
No
shift
way.
up $43 million in 2024.
so they generated $43 million of revenue.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty good. So I think probably they will do something. Like
Maybe it was just because of all the online chatter, but that just feels way lower than I thought it was going to be for that game.
I don't know. It says Celebrate developers shift up has revealed through the recent earnings that they made $219.8 billion in revenue. So
Whew. Okay.
that's all right.
so maybe they
that's
just
big
made
number.
43 million in 2020. When did that game come out?
Wasn't it last year?
Yeah, it was
Oh.
last year.
Oh, well then why are you talking about 2020? I don't know what they're talking about then. Anyway.
Get some Heavenly
so
Sword DLC in there.
Whoa.
You know.
That'd be
Ooh, okay,
sweet.
hold on. Here's one.
There's a PC port's coming out. So.
Do you think there's been lots of rumors of this? Do you think we see a Hogwarts Legacy DLC announcement?
That's such a good call. I bet
Yeah.
that fits perfectly in because
With the
PlayStation had the
anniversary.
marketing rights to
Yeah.
Hogwarts.
They had the exclusive
So,
mission too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the anniversary, like what, yesterday, today, something like that?
Pretty like
I saw a
came out
post.
right around this time. Let me look.
Yeah. I saw a post like either this morning or yesterday. That was the
February
That's a
10th
good
was the
call.
release date. Was yesterday. Yeah, it's 2 years ago. Yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like you're right then.
So
I feel
yeah, like
that makes
Hogwarts Legacy
perfect sense.
DLC, I think is a really good.
That would be a
chance.
good get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
We're gonna see
Maybe
if they
more Elden
Monster Hunter Wild.
Maybe Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
I think that Elden Ring
Night
DLC
Rain?
game, whatever it's supposed to be, I don't know, but yeah, probably something from that.
Well, I don't know because
Didn't the beta just come out for that? Or
Yeah, the beta started-
Keep in mind, PlayStation just bought a massive chunk of that parent company from Software, so that seems like an easy tie-in if they wanted to
Right.
detail out because it is coming out this year, right?
Well, yeah, the beta's on Friday.
So that makes sense to me. Then that kind of
Yeah.
corresponds with the beta.
Yeah.
Maybe like a little
throw
beta
out some new
thing.
gameplay and everything.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, network test on fucking Friday or whatever. Yeah, that's an easy.
I want the messaging to
Dude,
be exactly
You should
like
be
that.
doing these presentations. Hi, I'm Steve Vigvari. So beta tester fucking whatever on Friday. So fucking luck.
You know, Nintendo has their voiceovers.
Yeah.
Bring me in for PlayStations. You know,
Seriously, we need that.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm
Oh,
motherfucking Steve Vigvari.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Elden Ring Night Rain. It's coming out network beta test on Friday or fucking whatever. Get in. Get in, loser.
Whatever it is.
Are they gonna address, I guess, what happened as well over the weekend? Did they give anything away for that? People wanted free games. I'm like, you didn't get free
they
games.
got-
like,
they got
it was like
5
3
days.
weeks.
Oh, the
PlayStation
outage,
Plus.
right?
I
Yeah.
got 5 days. of PS Plus.
That was
That's what-
weird.
That 2011 outage, you got like 2 free games, and that was 3 weeks. So you think you get a free game for a weekend? Nice try.
Not gonna happen.
It was definitely weird though for
Yeah.
whatever had happened there, and for them to just not say there
Not
was
say
any reason
anything.
why, like nothing like like somebody unplugged something like nothing,
Yeah.
just nothing.
There's
We're
been a lot of
snowed
weird
in.
outages on that from them. Like I remember PlayStation Stars was down. Like that mobile
Yep.
app was like totally out
And
for like 2 months.
October of last year, it went down for 9 hours overnight, and then this one is the second longest outage, right behind the 2011 one. It's like
Right.
I don't
there's
know.
some instability there, and I feel like they gotta rein it in.
Yeah.
It's because they removed the 30th anniversary theme.
That's probably it.
That's exactly what happened, I think.
You fuck around
sure.
and you find out. You know, you just
Yeah,
that's what we
that's
want.
probably
you
what
know?
happened.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Oh boy! Anything else you guys want to bring up for this showcase?
That's it.
Like
What-
pie,
what- you think
what's
it's
your
gonna be a
biggest
banger
pie
show?
in the sky wish? Pie in the sky
What
wish.
and what is your prediction rating wise out of 10? Like this is gonna be like an 8 out of 10 show.
I think it'll be
or-
like an 8 out of 10 show.
Yeah,
Again, if it's anything similar to the
Like a good
last
8.
state of play, the last state of play really it played out like a mini showcase. And I think honestly, I mean that in the best way possible. I set my expectations so low. I was not expecting a reveal of the size of the next Ghost of Tsushima. So like that had me really, really excited. And I'm going to set my expectations very similarly for this state of play, even though
To get
to be
Wolverine.
honest, the way that they're hyping it up, they're hyping it up way more than they did the last one. Because for me, I really love when PlayStation's just like, get excited. You know, nothing like we're gonna show games from this studio
Are you
and
happy
this,
yet?
like there's no very specific expectation set. They're just like, yeah, get
That's
hyped.
so true.
You know, just get
Yeah.
ready, get hyped 40 plus minutes. You know, it's like, damn, okay, they're ready to bring the thunder. So, but I'm still going to try and temper my expectations. And I will, in the back of my mind, hope and pray for something Wolverine. It would be nice. But yeah, we'll see. I am expecting like a good 8 out of 10 show, though.
I want to ask one other question before we start closing
Yeah.
this out. How many
course.
PSVR games we getting?
Oh Lord, none.
There's got to be at least one or two.
Zero.
There will be a
Zero.
there. You know what? Just about that time when you think like, oh my God, here comes the big reveal. It's that like 2-minute sizzle reel of all these PSVR games coming,
Yeah, that's
and
it.
then they wrap up the show.
I will say we're getting 0.
You're saying 0? Yeah.
0.
They didn't say anything specific about PSVR 2 in
But they did say
the
great
blog.
games, Caboose.
But hold on. I wish I could find the blog from last time, because in the blog for the last State of Play, they're always very specific to mention PS5 and PSVR2 titles.
You're right.
So I think the fact that this one is just PS5 games, I don't think there's anything for VR2.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. You know what? You're right. Actually, I didn't even think about it in that sense. I was just thinking from like my hopes and excitement for the show. But yeah, like,
I'm moving away from that.
So,
Definitely.
okay, alternatively from that, do we see any cool new little peripherals? Do we get a controller reveal? What do we think?
You probably get some new colors.
ooh, yeah.
I don't know if we will, because the Midnight Black collection launches on the 20th.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they've overlapped before.
You don't think they just reveal like a couple of new plates or something for the Pro specifically?
Maybe. I mean, maybe if there's I don't think they'll do anniversary plates, but maybe some sort of crossover. They did the Helldiver controller. Maybe they'll have some plates for that or something.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that wouldn't surprise me too much. But they are launching their Midnight Black on the 20th, so I would think that would be a bigger priority, because it's not just the controllers. It's like the Portal and
That Portal looks hot.
Distance Edge and stuff. So I would think probably they won't, but I don't know. Maybe they'll have a crossover or something that would be cool.
Interesting.
What do you know?
What do you know, Riley? What's your rating, Riley? For what number wise?
I think I'm gonna go 8.5.
8.5.
I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm thinking 8. If they come out with Wolverine, that's an 8.5.
Come on, Wolverine.
That might be that'd be a 10 for Boost.
I'm sticking with a
Man
7.
can dream though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a money presentation for Caboose if they drop Wolverine. That guy's
Okay,
got content.
if they drop Bloodborne remaster PC port whatever. But
we didn't
that you want to talk about pie in the sky?
That is a true pie. That's
the one.
I don't know if that's that in the sky at this point.
I don't
feel
know.
I feel like that's pretty
That's a
feasible.
pie on the floor.
I feel like
He dropped the pie like, oh crap.
pie's like yeah.
Pie.
We burnt that pie in the oven. Oh my god.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
If they pull that shit out, that's an 11 out of 10. There's no coming back.
It'll be the best.
It'll
It'll be the
last-
best state of
the
play for
last
you.
game.
I would-
creme.
Ooh. If I get that PC port, roll that out on PS5. Ooh,
As the last game,
would
Ever?
you make it the last
as a
game?
one, yeah.
No, of the show, like end
Yeah, of
of.
course.
okay.
Yeah. Be like, oh, we have one more thing. Like, especially
Imagine
then-
they're like, we're remastering Bloodborne, and you're never going to get it again.
No
this is
more.
it. Yeah,
There's no
never ask me for
sequel.
anything.
You're
This is
done.
the
Yeah.
end of the PlayStation brand.
Like,
Yeah.
done. This is
Done.
it. Was it worth it?
Yeah,
But that,
you like
that would
that?
be a hella good one last thing. Like not
Yeah.
even a date or anything, just a confirmation that it's in existence as being worked on, and just leave everyone
man.
bricked up for the rest of the year. Like that's it.
For sure. For sure.
I'm down. I'm
Yeah.
down. I would like that. I would like
I'm
that.
with it.
I
I'm
want to
with it.
see I want more Sly Cooper, and there's been some merch around it lately that I
There
feel like
has
maybe
been.
that'll happen. So I would love to see that, but
We'll see.
that's
We'll
my
find
pie
out.
in the sky.
Steve, what's going on for you for the rest of the week? I think I might have an idea. So
Yeah, I mean, state of play, watching that with and a lot of anticipation, hoping for some big things, and then right after that, on Thursday, Avowed. It's Avowed review
Avowed.
day, so
Oh yeah.
looking forward to throwing out my thoughts and feelings on the game, and then other than that, Canadian Game Awards. We're all going to be
That's
there. We're all
right.
going to be hanging out, celebrating some.
We're gonna be shoveling.
Yeah, we do have to shovel to get out of our homes that day. Yeah.
And to get
looking
in.
forward to celebrating some great Canadian games. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Really good old time. Caboose, how about yourself?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the state of play, and then also, like you mentioned, Steve, we got the Canadian Game Awards coming up, so I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm glad to be able to have the opportunity to celebrate some amazing Canadian talent in video games. So that should be fun. And then outside of that, playing some more Marvel Rivals. And you know what? I'm on just a Marvel binge. We got Captain America coming out this week.
This week
which
as well,
I'm
yeah.
cautiously optimistic about. Very cautious, I should say. And then yeah, that's it. I'm just having a good old time, and I'm excited for this state of play.
Hell yeah, right. Riley, how about yourself?
I'm actually getting ready to. I'm going on vacation next week, so I'm.
Oh, so you
off
think you're
to
better than
Mexico.
us?
Yeah, what the hell?
Think?
Wow.
No, I'm going to Mexico, so
Hell yeah.
I won't be here next week, but I'm looking forward to day drinking. Mostly day drinking.
That's rock and
laying
roll.
and laying on the beach. So it'll be nice.
That's
Playing
real rock and roll, man.
Death Stranding. Perfect
Fucking
timing.
rock and roll.
Yo, Riley Little too on the beach.
On the beach. Yeah.
That's the social post right there. That's
Right.
I bring the death to the beach. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna die.
Oh my god. But yeah, looking forward to State of Play later, a couple hours from this release, and then of course a Valve review on Thursday as well. And yeah, Canadian Game Awards. Looking forward to it. So, and then we'll see you all. We'll hear all the results of everything next week, except for Riley. He's gonna be on the beach.
I'm on the beach.
He's on the beach. All right. See you all here next week. Take care, everyone.